Breathing and Meditation Part 2. The yogis say that nature is the enjoyed, the soul is the enjoyer, all misery and happiness, where is it? In the senses. It is the touch of the senses that causes pleasure and pain, heat and cold. If we can control the senses and order what they shall feel, not let them order us about as they are doing now, if they can obey our commands, become our servants, the problem is solved at once. We are bound by the senses, they play upon us, make fools of us all the time. Here is the bad odor. It will bring me unhappiness as soon as it touches my nose. I am the slave of my nose. If I am not its slave, I do not care. A man curses me, his curses enter my ears and are retained in my mind and body. If I am the master, I shall say, let these things go, they are nothing to me. I am not miserable, I do not bother. This is the outright, pure, simple, clear cut truth. The other problem to be solved is it practical? Can man attain to the power of mastery of the body? Yoga says it is practical. Supposing it is not, suppose there are doubts in your mind. You have got to try it if there is no other way out. You may do good works all the time. All the same, you will be the slaves of your senses. You will be miserable and unhappy. You may study the philosophy of every religion. Men in this country carry loads and loads of books on their backs. They are mere scholars, slaves of the senses, and therefore happy and unhappy. They read 2000 books, and that is all right, but as soon as a little misery comes, they are worried, anxious. You call themselves men, you stand up and build hospitals, you are fools. What is the difference between men and animals? Food and sleep, procreation of the species, and fear exists in common with the animals. There is one difference. Man can control all these and become God, the master. Animals cannot do it. Animals can do charitable work, ants do it, dogs do it. What is the difference then? Men can be masters of themselves, they can resist the reaction to anything. The animal cannot resist anything, he is held by the string of nature everywhere. That is all the distinction. One is the master of nature, the other the slave of nature. What is nature? The five senses. The conquest of internal nature is the only way out according to yoga. The thirst for God is religion, good works, and all that merely makes the mind a little quiet. To practice this, to be perfect, all depends upon our past. I have been studying yoga all my life and have made very little progress yet, but I have got enough result to believe that this is the only true way. The day will come when I will be master of myself, if not in this life, in another life. I will struggle and never let go. Nothing is lost. If I die this moment, all my past struggles will come to my help. Have you not seen what makes the difference between one man and another? It is their past. The past habits make one man a genius and another man a fool. You may have the power of the past and can succeed in 5 minutes. None can predict the moment of time. We all have to attain perfection sometime or the other. The greater part of the practical lessons which the yogi gives us is in the mind, the power of concentration and meditation. We have become so materialistic. When we think of ourselves, we find only the body. The body has become the ideal, nothing else. Therefore, a little physical help is necessary. First, to sit in the posture in which you can sit still for a long time. All the nerve currents which are working pass along the spine. The spine is not intended to support the weight of the body. Therefore, the posture must be such that the weight of the body is not on the spine. Let it be free from all pressure. There are some other preliminary things. There is the great question of food and exercise. The food must be simple and taken several times a day instead of once or twice. Never get very hungry. He who eats too much cannot be a yogi. He who fasts too much cannot be a yogi. He who sleeps too much cannot be a yogi, nor he who keeps awake too much. He who does not do any work and he who works too hard cannot succeed. Proper food, proper exercise, proper sleep, proper wakefulness, these are necessary for any success. What the proper food is, what kind, we have to determine ourselves. Nobody can determine that for us. As a general practice, we have to shun exciting food. We do not know how to vary our diet with our occupation. We always forget that it is food out of which we manufacture everything we have. So, the amount and the kind of energy that we want, the food must determine. Violent exercises are not at all necessary. If you want to be muscular, yoga is not for you. You have to manufacture a finer organism than you have now. Violent exercises are positively hurtful. Live amongst those who do not take too much exercise. If you do not take violent exercise, you will live longer. You do not want to burn out your lamp and muscles. People who work with their brains are the longest lived people. Do not burn the lamp quickly. Let it burn slowly and gently. Every anxiety, every violent exercise, physical or mental, means that you are burning the lamp. The proper diet means generally simply do not eat highly spicy foods. There are three sorts of mind, says the yogi, according to the elements of nature. One is the dull mind, which covers the luminosity of the soul. Then there is that which makes people active, and lastly, that which makes them calm and peaceful.